Hey guys, Ham here real quick. I'm about to edit up and post the cut test. I had to go out today anyway and buy some lumber for my one of my satellite trucks. So this is some add-ons to what I didn't say in the cut test. I did the cut test on both the Boomslang and the Speed Bowie. Okay? And you'll see them both. Couple things I didn't do on the video you're about to see that I want to explain. First of all, this is 2 by 8, not 2 by 12. Like I said, it's 2 by 8 framing wood, so it's fairly hard. Got this at Home Depot. And what I did was I decided that I wanted to do a test where I chopped in on the flat side, not on the edges first. I did a straight flat cut, so the response was not as good as if I had gone in on the edge, but I did that on both the Boomslang and the Speed Bowie on the other side. Now, one thing I did do on both knives that I wanted to show you was, after I turned the camera off, I went and did an initial just single slice without sharpening or anything on the edge and got really decent penetration. I don't know if you can see that on the Boomslang, and also I was very happy with the response on the Speed Bowie. There's a cut there. These are both fairly deep. I'd say they went in at least a ½ inch on each blade, maybe a little bit more on the Boomslang, but I did mark them down. So just some add-ons as to what I did on the cut tests that you'll see on this video. Real quick, down and dirty little test. Again, I apologize if you may not think it's a really fair test, but I cut it on the flat. I did not go in on the edges first like I probably should have. But I figured you're not going to find a lot of trees in the outdoors that are cut like this with nice, simple edges that you can cut against. It's going to be flat. The next cut test I'm going to do with these is I'm going to clean them up, take them out, and actually try it on some dead logs and stuff actually out in the brush. But I didn't have time. I just wanted to get this done for you. Hey everybody. Ham here outside working on one of my trucks. And I thought I'd bring the two larger blades along and do a little cut test since I had to buy some lumber anyway. Again, the two blades we're going to be looking at today are both by Condor, tool and knife. One is the Speed Bowie, which is a short machete type blade. It's 1095 steel, 1/8 inch. About 10 inches, 9-10 inches, with a full belly and a polyurethane handle. And the other one, of course, is the Boomslang. This is 3/16, again 1095 steel, a lot heavier, with a nice micarta handle. And I put on a secure lanyard on this one. But anyway, we're going to be doing some penetration and cut tests on this. I had to buy a bunch of this anyway. My TV trucks have hydraulic jacks, and we use framing wood underneath the jacks as kind of a footing for them instead of just sitting down on the asphalt. This is 2 by 12 framing wood. If anybody knows what the composition of this is, they're welcome to email me or PM me, but all I know is it holds up fairly well. I'm going to try the Speed Bowie on one side and the Boomslang on the other, and we'll measure. Got both a ruler and a Sharpie here. We're going to measure the initial penetration, and then we're going to take 25 hits on each blade and see how well it does on this 2 by 12 framing wood, okay? So first up is the Speed Bowie. Alright, now I'm going to get up here so I can do this. Hopefully you can see this. Should be able to. Okay. Well, the first penetration really didn't go in all that much. I'd say that's probably around 1/8 of an inch. But we'll see how it does. I expect better from the other knife anyway. But anyway, here's 25. Okay, there's 25.
did a little bit of damage. I'm going to give it another 10, just because we seem to be getting into the other part of the wood here. So alright, that was a little bit more than 10. But it seems to be hacking out a decent little notch once again. And this is not pressure treated, by the way. This is just straight lumber. So, as you can see, didn't do a bad job. I'd say it went in what? Let's take a look here. Well, it's about a ½ inch at the deepest point on this side, and it was a little bit less because of the angle of the cut and the shape of the blade. But anyway, we're going to mark this as the speed Bowie. And I'm going to mark that as a ½ inch on the speed Bowie. Now we're going to turn it around and try the Boomslang. Now, I had no problems in holding on to that speed Bowie with the polycarbonate handle, but with the micarta, and I've got the gloves on, I've got the lanyard on, just to see how she handles. Okay, so the initial. Oops, let's try that again. Alright. Okay. Coming down right. Let's try one more time. This will be the initial. That's better. About the same. Alright, let's do 25. About 1/8 of an inch. Alright, it's 25. Go a little bit further. Okay, it's about 30. I think I did about 30 on the speed Bowie. That cleans up pretty well. Now the one thing I did notice with this is although the weight is heavier, and these are factory edges, by the way. I did not sharpen these at all. They came fairly sharp. The speed Bowie actually seemed to bite a little bit better. And that surprises me. I'm going to try a little bit more here. Alright. Well, much less fatigue on the hand using the Boomslang, but the initial cut was shallower than the speed Bowie originally, so there is a bit of a difference there. But we're going to say this is about well, that's 3/4 of an inch, but we did some extra hits, so I'd say the depth is about the same for the 25 to 30. That is 3/4 of an inch at the deepest point. A little bit wider on that. So the speed Bowie actually performed better than I expected. We're going to mark this as the Boomslang. 3/4. Overall, I think if I was going to go out, I think the natural choice would be, you know, that Boomslang. Maybe I don't know. Surprising. I thought the performance on this would be different. You know, because when you do the speed Bowie, there's definitely a difference in the contact. Although again, this is hardwood, framing wood, and a little bit of a difference. But I was impressed with the performance of the speed Bowie. You know, for that initial strike. The Boomslang, I think, would be okay for the larger stuff. But I think what we're going to have to do is go out and find a dead one, try hacking some of that. But that speed Bowie is surprising. I think it did pretty well. Anyway, there it is. The initial cut. I'm going to be doing more of these. The initial cut, the Boomslang, and the speed Bowie. And we'll catch you later.